Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 16.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Between the Ropes. It's been a while since we've been on. I am my boy Ace, and we got the EST of Between the Ropes, Chrissy Wilson, and then we got Sir Crispy Bacon down there. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, man, my computer was lagging a little bit, so I didn't mean for you to have to do that. It just ended up happening that my computer was lagging. So
it's okay. I pick up the slack, bro.
Yeah, you got it. We are golden. We are good to go. We are back. And guess what? Between the Ropes now is on a very special night now. It's on a different night. We're bringing it to you on Tuesday nights now. We're hoping sometime along the way that potentially maybe Big B can kind of hop on. And I'm not really sure where Big B's at tonight, but I'm pretty sure we'll end up seeing him at some point tonight. That's the plan.
Sergeant come on too, but he must be busy unpacking.
Yeah, he definitely must be. So, Crispy, how you doing tonight, my man?
Doing good. It's been crazy in WWE.
It doesn't matter how you're doing.
Okay.
That's right. So, anyways, to get this thing going, it's been a little while since we've done a show now. I think everybody on here watched NXT from Saturday.
I did.
I did.
And I'll tell you, what a pay-per-view it was. Now, I know mess around. I got to start out with you because when it comes to the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge, I know you were just a little upset that Cora Jade did not pull off the victory. I know you were a little upset about that.
Extremely upset about that one.
That is the understatement of the night. A little. We're talking a lot. Roxanne Perez has no business winning that. She was supposed to be on the main roster, for Christ's sakes. What the hell?
Come on.
I know. So when you saw her win, you're probably like, "Gosh, dang it, really?" Like,
I was like, "What the? She's supposed to be on SmackDown or Raw. She's supposed to be on the main roster. What the hell? This is BS."
Probably not ready for it yet.
So overall, Roxanne, Perez winning this. What was everybody surprised that Roxanne Perez won, and who did you actually have winning this? So mess around. I don't even have to say. I know you're taking Cora Jade. You were taking Cora. Crispy, were you surprised that Roxanne Perez won? Did you have Roxanne Perez winning this match?
I didn't. I haven't watched much NXT, but I figured I remember that she was probably the youngest on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thea Hale is the youngest. Roxanne's and Cora Jade are a little older than her.
But I mean, they have plans, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so Christy, did you think Roxanne was going to win this match?
Yeah, I actually did, even though I was rooting for Indy Hartwell to win. So I figured, why not? One more shot, at least get a shot at the title before she goes to the main roster. But honestly, I'm happy Roxanne Perez won. I am. She seems like she's going to be a huge star. So.
Yeah, and I think she will. But I was kind of like mess around, Dave, on this one. I'm not talking about the Cora side. I'm talking about with Roxanne Perez. I seriously thought, because when she went on the main roster that Friday night, they were very impressed with Roxanne Perez. So I seriously thought that Roxanne Perez was going to be up, in the main part, she was going to be on Raw or SmackDown. I seriously thought that. And so when she was in the Iron Survivor Challenge, I'm like, well, it's good she's in there because she definitely deserved it. When she won, I'm like, wow. Because I seriously was not kind of expecting it.
Right.
And the fact that she got the winning pin on my girl, oh, that even irked me even more.
Well, the one thing is Cora Jade was throwing a temper tantrum afterward. I'm like,
I saw that. Yeah.
that's right, Cora Jade. You throw that temper tantrum, you little.
She looks so cute doing it.
Dave.
Mess around.
It's
She
Dave.
looks so good doing it.
It is.
But
Hey, before we move on, I was very disappointed we didn't get our old school intro. It's Friday. What the hell?
I can bring
Yeah.
that back.
I'm on
next time.
fire, right? So, since this is the first time that that we've seen the Iron Survivor Challenge, I really have to ask you, what did you guys overall think of the concept of it? Mess around. I'll start with you. What did you think this was a good concept for a match?
For a while there, I couldn't figure out exactly what was going on, and then I realized that when somebody got pinned, they had to go they
The
kind
penalty
of turned it
box.
into hockey and had them go in the penalty box for like 2 minutes or a minute and a half, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I like the concept. I like the idea. It's something new. It's something innovating, and it's new and exciting. I like it. I love what they did with it. I think they should bring it back for a yearly thing.
I think the thing that surprised me about it, and I don't know if anybody else caught this, but it's like immediately once you get pinned and once you roll out of the ring, your time actually starts. I thought that your time didn't start till you actually got inside. Like
that's what confused me too. I was
just like, wait a minute, shouldn't she be in the penalty box first before you start the clock?
Yeah, and so, but apparently it doesn't. And I think the reason it's like that is because it's only a 25-minute match.
Right. That's probably why.
And so, so people, this is kind of where there was kind of like 50-50 on this to where people were saying, is it better if you start number 1 and 2, or is it better if you come out at the very end? Because at the very end, you're rested, everybody else is tired, and you have a chance. But if you come in at 1 and 2, you have 25 minutes to where you can then get more pinfalls.
Right.
I think you need more information on that because you had both ways. You had it both ways in this match.
At the same time, if you come in 1 or 2, you also get more time to chance to be in the penalty box.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's a mixture of.
I mean, Roxanne spent the most time in that penalty box, and she still won the thing.
Well, she was in there twice, and she did win the whole darn thing.
Yeah, it's a mixture of an Iron Man match and a like a gauntlet match.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a cool concept.
Crispy, did you like the concept of the match?
I did. I think I don't know what they could change, but I think they could probably change something about it.
Well,
I don't know how, but
no, I think, and sorry to cut you off, but because you were talking about what could they change about the concept, I think if there was maybe one thing that I could change about the concept, like I love the match. I think it was a great match. I think that the concept was great. I liked it. I think that maybe the one thing particularly that you might be able to maybe tweak just a little bit would be because they do make it a 25-minute match, kind of make it like War Games to where the time doesn't actually start until everybody is actually in there. So everybody enters, but then you get the Survivor Challenge after everybody enters the ring.
That would actually make more sense.
Yeah, something to consider at least.
So that's kind of where I was like, okay, maybe if you have that concept, that might be the way to go for it. But hey, it's just one man's opinion.
Yeah.
But Christy, you said you did like the concept.
I did like it. I do think they could tweak it maybe just a little bit, not too much, but I like it, and I hope they keep going with it on a yearly basis.
and the leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the leading up to it. I just think that the way that they could have done it would have been like any other thing, to where you had to earn your spot in the match.
Yeah.
So so you had to win a match because Axiom had to earn his spot in there, and I was like,
Indy Hartwell had to as well.
There's a guy I
He had
can't
to earn her
stand.
spot. Axiom.
But the
I
Axiom,
don't
rest-
like him at all.
Axiom's amazing though.
He's awesome.
He's amazing.
Too much Kalisto, too much all those little flippy flopper guys combined. I just don't like him.
I don't know. I just think he puts on a great show. That's all I can.
Well, I'm
say.
not saying he doesn't. I just don't like his character.
I mean, I agree. He needs to change his character and take his mask off.
Well, you know who Axiom was, right?
A Kid.
Yeah,
And then
Axiom was the A Kid,
Yep, he was.
and they changed him to Axiom.
He
Yeah.
was who?
A
A
Kid,
Kid.
A Kid,
I
and they
didn't know
changed him
that
to
is.
Axiom.
He used to be in NXT UK, and he did not wear a mask over there.
Oh.
He's a Spanish wrestler. He's now known as Axiom over here.
Yeah, so they ended up just changing all that.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was. I was looking up this, and there's an angry thing up here, and it's from Chrissy. Why do you put an angry face up there?
Where did I put an angry face?
You put an angry face up there.
But
You did.
what?
Did you not mean to?
No, I didn't mean to. What?
Yeah, I just thought maybe
Oh,
she was angry at
Oh, I
something that
meant
you
to hit my
said.
mistake. Sorry, I meant to do thumbs up there. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
fine. I was
there we
looking
go.
at it. I'm like,
I
you
did
gave
by
us the angry
mistake.
face, and it said you did. And I'm like, what?
No, I didn't
Yeah,
mean
so
to.
I don't know. I was
Not
like,
angry, I'm just
obviously we said something that somebody didn't like.
Right?
But so then then we can kind of touch base on the men's Iron Survivor Challenge, which I'll tell you, you want to talk about a crazy match?
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh my
That
God.
match was
Ooh.
loaded.
It was
With-
it was insane.
Lots of big time action.
Yes.
And I will tell you, I was rooting so bad for my boy Carmelo Hayes.
Oh, I'm with you.
Me too.
I was rooting so bad for Carmelo
with you.
Hayes. I was like, you got this. Come on, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Like,
You got
come
to
on,
do
come
it.
on.
He Carmelo Hayes is one of those guys that
Mhm.
I truly feel, and people can disagree with me, and that's completely okay. But I'm saying Carmelo Hayes, to me, is going to be like another Seth Rollins, where I truly feel you'll be able to put him in the ring with anybody, and that dude will be able to put on a show.
Yeah.
I totally agree with
I
you. I
kinda
think
have
he
that.
should be featured more than freaking Braun Breaker, and I like Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker's a star. Don't get
He
me
is.
wrong.
He needs to go to the main roster.
But that's why I was seriously hoping for a Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker feud.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what I was waiting for. I was like, dude, that would be a freaking incredible feud. And that's what I was definitely waiting for. And I thought we were going to see it. And then Grayson Waller steals it at the very end. And I was like,
Stole the show pretty much. I'm like, no.
I can't say I'm not happy. I'm not
I don't
I'm
like
not
him.
disappointed that he won, or I'm not excited, but good for him. It's time he gets his shot.
exactly. And after Grayson Waller won, I saw some people posting like, I don't know why WWE does this to us. They all know that we wanted Joe Gacy or Carmelo. I'm like, but that's the point. They know what you want. And then if they do that, then everyone's going to be pissed because like, oh, it's too
It's
predictable.
predictable. Yeah.
Predictable.
And it's like, so then they decided to throw a curveball out there, and it's like, okay.
They're
was like,
trying to
what?
read the fans and
I am-
go, okay, we're
Yeah.
going
I'm
another
okay with the
direction.
curveball because Grayson Waller can wrestle. He's got good mic skills. He's good in the ring. He can do it
Mhm.
all. He's not a terrible wrestler.
He's not. Grayson
He's
Waller
not.
is not terrible. I know people just don't like his character, but it's
True.
like we've always said on the show. If you don't like a
He's doing
person's
his job.
character when
Doing
they're
a job.
heel,
He's doing his
they're
job.
doing their job if you don't like their character as a heel. You're supposed to not like them. That's the point.
Mhm.
If they're
That is true.
heel and you like their character,
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
And
means-
you know me, and I think you're kind of the same way. We like heels more than we like faces.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Whenever
did-
I create a character on like a 2K game and they go, "Are you face or heel?" I was like, "I'm always heel.
I'm always heel too. Yeah.
I'm always heel."
But it
It's
seems
just
like they get the better matches too. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I like it. So, in the end, speaking of the men's Iron Survivor Challenge,
Mm-hmm.
I was just surprised that JD did not get any pinfalls.
Oh,
I was
that was the
surprised by that. I was
funniest
like,
part
what's the
about the
reason
whole
behind this?
thing.
that he
Why
didn't
you
get
not like,
any
wait,
pinfalls.
he can't pin anybody? What the hell's going on here?
Right? It's like
My
it's
son
so-
and I were watching. He's like, "Who's this guy that has no pins?" I'm like, "That guy's probably one of the best wrestlers in this ring right now, and he
He
ain't
is.
got nothing."
Didn't get a pin.
I know it's funny because he actually was one of the best in the ring. He still
was.
is one of the best in the ring on
He was.
NXT. He is one of the best.
Exactly.
And
You'll
so,
never bet against the ace.
and so I think it's so funny that he got zero pinfall.
Not one stinking pin in the whole thing. 25-minute Iron Survivor match,
But-
not one pin.
Yeah, but I think it's okay though because we have seen Braun versus JD.
Right? Yeah.
And we saw Braun versus Joe Gacy. We saw that.
Yep.
And so that's why it was okay having Grayson Waller win the match.
Right.
It's something that we haven't seen. We haven't seen Braun versus Grayson Waller yet.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you don't want to keep running out the same match at every single pay-per-view or premium live events, whatever the hell they're calling it these days.
Premium live events. I hate that term. It's pay-per-view for me.
I picked Carmelo.
I do too.
Me
Messer
too.
I picked Carmelo. Chris, who did you have in that match?
Carmelo.
You had Carmelo, and Chris, you
Yeah.
had Carmelo.
Carmelo. Yeah,
So
I
it
went
sounded
Carmelo.
like everybody had a clean sweep.
And I was like, no.
So
Give Carmelo a chance.
So then, we can talk about the Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews match. Did anybody really have Apollo Crews in this match?
Nope.
I was hopeful,
You-
but no.
I was hopeful too, but I was like, no, Braun Breaker's
You know,
gonna win. We're all gonna be bored, and that's it.
Funniest thing about this was if you watched the NXT before the pay-per-view and they went bitching together and stuff.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was fun.
Or the restaurant.
Yeah.
Or at
Was
the
it just
diner.
hanging out?
Right? Now, when it came to it too, like I was talking with the wife about this because we were watching it together and she was talking and she was like, look, as much as I like Braun and she likes Braun, I would have been okay if Apollo would have won it.
Yeah.
I would have been okay with it. And I think a lot of people would have been okay with it.
Mhm.
If
I
the
would've
only way
thought-
I saw Apollo winning is if they were planning on moving Braun up to the big time.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
I thought so.
I would have thought Apollo would have won because he came back for this, and they're kind of leading into that.
Mm-hmm.
potentially.
But I mean, why not have Apollo when you had somebody else from the main roster come down and win titles?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. we'll save it for later.
right? Right? We're
That's why we
definitely
say
But
yeah,
if they
we're
could do
definitely
it,
getting there though. But
Yes.
I think sooner or later Braun's gonna drop the title. I just don't know who he's gonna drop it to.
I wouldn't be surprised if you dropped it to Waller.
You really think he's gonna drop it to Grayson Waller? I don't.
No.
I just don't think he's going to.
No. Carmelo Hayes, I think, is going to climb his way back, and then he'll be the one to dethrone Braun, and then Braun will go to the main roster.
I think Breaker could drop it because it's in January, and around that time it's also Rumble.
New
He
Year's
could
Eve. Ball.
debut.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm with Chris on that. I think he drops
he
it around
could
the Rumble.
debut at the Rumble
Right.
without a title.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
could
makes
see
sense.
it.
I'm actually looking forward to WrestleMania season because you do get to see the stand and deliver for NXT. That's
Yeah.
like their WrestleMania,
Yeah.
which they usually have it on Saturday. and then you have WrestleMania day 1 on the same day, and so you kind of have
It's a lot.
so it's a great wrestling day. So my thinking is like I don't know, like I do feel like Braun Breaker will be in the Rumble. I think he will. Whether or not once he's in the Rumble, whether or not he stays on the main roster is going to be another thing. But I do think that he does enter the Rumble.
I think the Rumble will determine how that will go. I'm just guessing.
As in what?
Like how he does, like in in the match overall, if he can last the amount of, like the slots where he's at, if he's gonna be third out, fourth out, I don't know.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
I think if he throws out a big name on SmackDown or Raw, that's the show he's going to go to.
Yeah, there's so many feuds that I think he could be so good in on the main roster.
Yeah.
So many feuds. And I can't. But
honestly, I would start him off with The Miz or Dolph.
I think he's feuded with Dolph before.
Oh, that's right.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
did
Dolph. You
feud
got
with
the
Dolph
championship
in
back to
NXT.
Dolph. You're
That's
right.
how he got the NXT title back after losing it to Dolph.
Yeah, then I would start him off with The
kind of-
Miz. You can't go wrong with The Miz.
Right.
And he's
No,
kind
man.
of had a main roster appearance.
Yep.
On Raw before.
The one thing about The Miz, and I know I've said it before, but I like to say it, is because The Miz is kind of one of those guys that he's reliable Miz. And it's like, he's a guy that you're like, hey, Miz, we need this young guy to learn. And The Miz is that guy that you can stick him in the ring and The Miz will make him look good. And The Miz will give him pointers along the way. Miz is also another guy that doesn't need a title to stay relevant. He's going to be relevant no matter what because he's a freaking Miz. That's why.
That's right, Mike. It's not Mike. It's The Miz.
Right? It's The Miz. It's The Miz.
Whatever, Mike. Miz.
He's awesome.
All right, so now we can go in and kind of talk about what Mess Around was gonna. You didn't spill the beans, so you didn't spill it. But you have New Day versus Pretty Deadly, and honestly, in all honesty, I think a lot of. I'm not going to say everybody, but I think there was quite a few people who were actually surprised. I was myself. I was actually surprised that the New Day won because typically what they do when they call, somebody from the main roster and they bring him down, typically they end up losing. And
except for Mandy Rose. And...
Mandy Rose.
Yeah. But
Finn Balor.
But they do that because they're trying to, put the young guy over. And so that's why I thought when the New Day was there, that's seriously what I thought. I seriously thought that the New Day was going to lose to kind of help put Pretty Deadly over and kind of be like, hey, these guys are good. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then
they need something. They need something because they are not Pretty Deadly.
And then once I saw the New Day,
I won't mention it here.
Once I saw the New Day actually win, I'm like, holy cow, it actually happened. They actually won. And now there is talk and being like, hey, since the New Day won and now they're now a Triple Crown champion because NXT champions, SmackDown, Raw. Yep. People are saying this cements them as one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
Yes, it does.
I kind of had, I didn't know that significance of it, but I kind of had a feeling something was going to happen where New Day would have won or could have won because they fell behind the Usos.
They did.
Because they're now the longest title holders. So they kind of had to make have the New Day feel relevant, I guess, in a way.
So
with another
NXT.
Yeah.
So, Mess Around. With that being said, do you feel like the New Day winning these titles, being a Triple Crown champion now, only one of 3 tag teams to ever do it, do you feel like now you have to talk about them as being one of the greatest tag teams?
I mean, they didn't even need that to be in the conversation, to be honest with you. They were already there as one of the greatest. Because they rock.
And Kofi is one of those guys that, like, you have to say, regardless if people like him or not, the dude is one of the greatest tag team champions ever. Like,
Absolutely.
Kofi's that guy. Kofi
Yeah.
is that guy. And it's just,
Wow.
everybody remembers when he first came in Jamaica Man, you know, and he was like,
Yeah.
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 I've been
Yeah.
rewatching those. Yeah.
yeah, he was that guy. And so, Crispy, your opinion, do you now look at New Day and be like, because of this win, you have to start putting them towards one of the greatest tag teams ever?
I think they were, like Dave said, I think they were already there. This just helps it. They had the longest title run. They won Raw. They won SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
They even won the belts before they kind of went to the brand tag.
The brand split?
Tag
Yeah.
belts. Yeah. So I think it helps, but they didn't really necessarily need it.
No.
Okay, so, all right. Christy, how about you?
I think this definitely further cements New Day's legacy. They like most of you are saying, they didn't need to win them, but they did. And since this was one of my favorite matches of that whole pay-per-view, I'm happy for him.
But now
So-
you gotta think. Now you gotta think of the Usos going to go. Well, now we have to go over to NXT and do the same thing.
Oh God, please
And
don't.
there's even rumors of something like that.
Well,
No.
there's
no.
rumors of Sami Zayn and Solo going to NXT and
Oh,
trying to get
I didn't hear
the
about
tag
that
team
one.
titles before Mania, but they
I heard
won't.
something else.
But they won't win it though.
No,
Yeah.
I heard something else, but
me too.
But
Yeah.
since we're talking about where you kind of rank tag teams and stuff like that, this is kind of where it's tricky now.
Mhm.
Now, do you put the Usos in front of New Day or do you put the New Day in front of the Usos? So, mess around. What's your feelings?
No, because they the twos and we the ones.
Right.
Right.
So on the
Honestly, I still think the Usos are the greatest tag team ever. I'd put them up there as the greatest ever.
Wow.
Oof.
just based on days, yeah, I would say that, yeah.
The run they're on right now is like never been seen before. Like they're so on fire, they're so in sync. I mean, yeah, they get the help from the Bloodline and whatnot, but what tag team hasn't got help along the way? Come on.
True.
Right. Crispy, do you agree with Mess Around's assessment there that you have to put the Usos in front of the New Day at this point?
I at this point, yeah. I mean, just based on days and what they've accomplished to this point. I mean, New Day's accomplished a lot too, but it's kind of 1-2, I think.
Right. Christy, how about you?
I don't like doing this, but I've put the Usos ahead of the New Day.
Mhm.
I don't like doing it though.
I mean, even in New Day back in the day, used a trumpet to win and heel tactics to win. So
Right.
everybody's done it.
Yeah, everybody's done it. And it's like, we can sit here and we can talk about the bloodline and everything else. And at some point now, doesn't matter if people like Roman Reigns or not.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I came out and I said this, and it's like, okay, who's probably been it's time to start saying that you kind of got to start putting Roman Reigns up there as one of the best to do it.
Chrissy's like, nope.
Nope.
I'm not saying the best. I'm
Not
not
the
saying
best,
the
but one of the best.
I
I'm
could
saying
name
you have to
several
start putting him
of
up
them.
there. You have to start putting him up there and saying he's one of the best to do it. Like
One.
I
Not
you
agree.
have to. No. I'm not saying the best. But I'm saying you have to
The
look at this
best right
and be like,
now.
because of
The
what he's
best
doing,
right
you have
now.
to say he's definitely one of the best.
Ask Roman, he'll tell you he's the greatest of all time.
Right. Well,
We're
I mean,
acknowledging.
you ask Seth
Not
freaking
me.
Rollins, and he'll tell you he's the greatest
Right.
of all time. But do I deny the talent that Seth Rollins has? Absolutely freaking not. That dude has so much talent. That dude has more talent in one of his boots than half the roster does.
Right.
So it's just so I'm just
Well, and then too, you got to think about what he was before and what he is now.
Yeah.
No one really liked him.
He was getting
back
booed out of the
then.
building.
Yeah,
he was, yeah. He was. But he's come a long ways. The bloodline has come a long ways.
I'm just waiting for the turn, baby. And I don't think it's going to be who everybody thinks it is. I think it's going to be Solo. Solo's going to be the one that turns.
Which,
but that's predictable. So maybe
It
not.
is predictable, by the way.
is it predictable? And the
Probably.
Most
reason
people think it's Sammy.
I don't think it's as predictable as if Sammy were if Sammy were to turn. I think people see that as more predictable.
Uh-huh.
I don't think people see it as much as Solo turning.
I
don't
think
know
the
the
whole
way he's
bloodline's
been
going to turn on
acting.
Sammy and then beat the crap out of him is what I keep thinking is going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Solo's going to turn because if you notice, like it's been pointed out when they celebrate and they all put their ones up,
He doesn't
he
do
gets
it.
not. He sits there like this.
Yeah.
His
He
body
does.
language is giving away that he could be turning heel, but I think they're going to turn on Sammy first, and
Oh,
then
yeah, I
Solo's
could-
going to turn on the rest of the bloodline and be like, "Screw you guys."
I could see that happening because a couple weeks ago he kind of, I guess you could say, kind of turned heel
Mm-hmm.
after that match he had.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's definitely going to be interesting to see where it goes because as of right now, I know Roman's next few competitors are kind of lined up. It's supposed to be Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
is supposed to be his guy, and then the very next pay-per-view after that, the one before Mania, is supposed
Elimination Chamber.
supposed to be Sami Zayn. That's supposed to be his.
Probably
Yeah, I
when
read
the
an article
bloodline turns on
today.
Sammy and beats him up.
I read an article. They asked him who he wanted to work with within the bloodline that wasn't family, and he picked out Kevin Owens and Sammy himself.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
either
But we
one would
know-
make sense for Elimination Chamber though, since
Right.
it is in Canada.
And that's why he was so pissed at the War Games when KO slapped him. That wasn't a planned slap, and it popped
Yeah.
his ear and hurt him.
Yeah.
He
That
was
wasn't
pissed about
Tuesday.
that.
No, that was not OC.
But we know at the Chamber's
What's up,
never.
Hitler?
I could see both Sammy and Solo turning, becoming tag teams to beat the Usos. I don't think it's going to be Sammy and Solo. From my understanding of what it is right now, is that the tag team is going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens going
That's
against
what
the Usos at WrestleMania.
Those are the
And-
two names I keep hearing.
Yeah, and you can still see that Sammy kind of has a soft spot for Kevin Owens because every time like Solo or somebody goes to attack him, Sammy's always like, "Not now, not now."
Right? Or he
Like
jumps out of the
Hitler.
ring when KO gets in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he never so it's like it's right there. And so it's he kind of still has that little bit of a soft spot for him.
Yeah.
It's I just can't wait to see. Like
Yeah,
that.
I can't wait to see where it goes either.
Oh yeah.
I think it's coming soon. I do think it's coming, especially if Sami Zayn's going to be facing Roman at Elimination Chamber, because we know
Hopefully it doesn't take as long as the Dominic turn it did, though.
well,
True.
from my understanding, we're sitting here saying, it's going to be called the Elimination Chamber. I personally don't think that the pay-per-view is going to be called the Elimination Chamber, and the reason why is because Triple H has said the Elimination Chamber has to be one of those matches, kind of like Hell in a Cell, that has to be special on its own.
Yeah.
and it's hard when you give it its own pay-per-view because then you know it's happening at least once every year.
Right.
But the Elimination Chamber has to be one of those special matches. Like
But
you're
I
like,
can-
okay,
I
we're
can
doing
see
the
that.
Elimination Chamber.
But I can see that change happening in 2024,
That's
not
true.
2023, because it's so close.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he pulled Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dominic
but they still
Mysterio,
had
can we
that.
talk about how he barely beat a mid-card guy like Tozawa?
Can we talk about how he got how Asuka spit in his face? He's crying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy,
And how Asuka's gonna
I
kind
can't
of
see
rip him off
Mommy.
the TV.
mommy,
Mommy.
help me, help me!"
I can't see Mommy.
This dude should not even be on the main roster. He barely
No,
beat a
this
lower
dude has
tier
his
guy
ass
in
in his
Tozawa.
butt
He got like
NXT.
2 moves in the whole time. Tozawa totally dominated that whole match.
God.
Yeah, I think that's funny though that it's hard to take a guy like Dominic Mysterio serious.
I can't take him serious.
It's
Even
so
when he looks
hard to
serious.
take that guy
Yeah.
serious. Like I listened to him talk on the mic and I'm like, bro,
Really.
You're saying the same shit she just said.
I know.
He's all like,
It kind of reminds me like every time I hear him talk, it
Mhm.
got the 8 Mile scene with B Rabbit runs through my mind every time.
Yes.
Pay attention, meathead. You're saying the same shit that she said.
Yep.
Yeah, so it just runs through my mind every
Yeah.
time, and I'm like, just
Here's a
stop it.
pencil. Let's take it home till something suspenseful hits you.
Screw it. You can take the mic home with you.
yeah, exactly.
Acted like a cyclone hit you. Right? I'm like, bro. Like, yeah, he's got to come up with something. But I will say though, that one part with the Judgment Day was funny though in there because he's like, it burns my eyes, it burns.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I guess it could be
Mommy,
worse.
Asuka spit in my face.
Something else could burn a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, we can name a lot of things that burn way worse than what Asuka spit in his face.
I was like, that was awesome. That was,
That was
really-
awesome.
Oh goodness, like his face is all blue and he's all screaming and everything. I'm like, you sissy.
Does this guy have a license? No, he's an
No.
idiot. And that's Finn.
How
Balor.
about our girl finally getting a shot at the title after 4 years and not Alexa
Yeah.
Bliss?
Alexa Bliss. Yes,
Yeah.
congratulations to Alexa Bliss. Thank you. And it was
Yeah.
great at the end. You see her kind of like almost do the Sister Abigail on Bianca Belair.
And
It
she's
was
like,
close.
wait, what the hell am I
And she's
doing?
like,
Oh, sorry.
It was close.
Yeah.
It
It
was
was
close.
close.
I said because the moth showed up on the
Mhm.
Titantron and Alexa saw it and she's all like,
I must
and then
follow.
tries to do Sister Abigail and Bianca, but doesn't do it.
Her eyes went wild like she was. Yeah, it was great.
Well, we know
Flashback.
we know Alexa's probably not going to win the belt.
Nope.
As much as I'm still happy that she's in the title picture,
Yeah.
but
right?
she,
In a long time.
she's definitely not going to win because I know the rumors are right now that for WrestleMania this year that we're supposed to see Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte's supposed to wants to put her over.
But anytime anything can happen between now and then.
That's true.
Bliss can still have it, drop it close to. I don't know, close to Mania.
I don't know.
It could happen.
Just I know the speculation.
Boo, Charlotte Flair ruins everything.
Well,
I just know the speculations that Charlotte Flair is
right.
supposed to be against Bianca at WrestleMania, and
Yeah, and
so
I heard
She's gonna ruin
yeah,
everything.
I
Stay
heard
away. Nobody cares.
I was gonna say a rumor I've heard is if that match does happen at WrestleMania, Charlotte wants to put Bianca over. No kidding.
So like lose
Wants
the
to
match.
put Bianca over.
The women's
Yeah.
wrestling has gotten a whole lot better without Charlotte.
I mean, I agree with that.
So, William's saying, is she going to be Alexa or I think he's asking, is she going to be her other character?
I don't know.
I think you might see her transition back to her old character, honestly.
Yeah.
It looks like it, but the way she did that stare when she had her in the, she's
Yeah.
about to kiss her and do her move. I can't remember what
She's
it's
like,
called. But
Yeah.
The Sister Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And trust me, the whole time when Alexa was trying to put, almost gave Bianca the Sister Abigail and had her in that position, mess around's going, that should have been me.
Yeah,
that.
so you put in the position, have her kiss his forehead, and then she does the move, and it'll be like,
that whole time he's going, that should have been me. That
should've
should
been
have
I would find a way to screw it up so she kisses me on the lips.
oh!
right? That should have been
His
me.
ultimate fantasy come true here.
That would have been his ultimate fantasy right there.
Yeah.
Ultimate.
Yeah, but replace her with like Cora Jade and we'll be good.
Oh God.
Right.
Oh,
Or
you
Dakota
build her
Kai,
up and then
maybe?
you
I
knock
don't
her
know.
over. How
I
dare
don't
you.
think you could ever have mess around officiate like any of Cora Jade's matches.
Yeah, because you're gonna be seeing this coming out of the corners of his mouth, and it's called drool.
Oh no, I think you'll be seeing a lot
Cora-
more than
You
that.
put Cora,
We'd be
Mandy,
like,
Liv,
"Oh?"
Cora,
What?
Mandy, Liv, Alexa in one match. No, I wouldn't be able to do
No,
that.
you wouldn't. No. That wouldn't work.
He'd be
I'd be
You'd be
sitting there
watching
with the
busy
hat over my
staring.
private parts going, nothing going on here.
he'd be watching,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Dude, you have to count." He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
One.
Sorry.
He's counting so 1, 2, all while he's staring at his like, hello.
Restaurant's supposed to be 3. Well, wait, I didn't want the match to end yet. So
Wait, I was distracted. Her boob was hanging out.
Oh God.
and so Will is saying that you wish it was Paige.
Ah!
Oh, Paige is another one. You know me too well, William.
Oh God. Well, she's in AEW now, so there you go.
Paige has changed her look a lot, though.
Yeah.
She's had some plastic surgery. Like I think she's had lip fillers.
Oh, you can tell. You can
Yeah, I know.
definitely tell.
Definitely. And she's gotten tattoos and all that.
You know, if you put AJ Lee in there too, oh my God.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, just mess around. Is going to be doing this.
Right?
Anyways, I
say-
think I got us way off topic.
And Will saying not for the better. And I completely agree with you. That one was definitely
Yeah.
not when she changed her face, it was definitely not for the better. I can
No,
definitely tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Definitely
Lips got too
not for
big.
the better. It's but you're right,
Are you
Mr.
guys excited to see the Miz versus Loomis for Double or Nothing?
Ladder match.
ladder match.
And
For
what do you
what
think of this
exactly?
whole making Miz look poor thing? That kind of like a Baron Corbin knockoff thing?
No, they're not. They're not
No.
making him look poor. He's saying he has money. I think
But
he's
his wife controls it.
Yeah, his wife controls. I think that's like the whole
Yeah.
difference
And it's
He's
winner
in charge of
take
the night.
all.
between it.
Yeah.
Dexter Loomis is my boy.
I love Dexter. Even though he doesn't talk,
Yeah, did you
I
see
love
him? He
his
bought out the
character.
whole merch stand at the arena, and he started giving
Right.
Gargano
Right, and it's-
shirts out to people. That was cool.
And one of the items was Lily in the
Yeah.
in the package.
The
I
Lily.
like his
The
balls.
Lily doll.
Yeah, because balls.
The Lily doll.
The Lily doll.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But this Friday, though, I'm telling you, this Friday, there's supposed to be some really good matches this coming Friday that I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
Mm.
You're gonna have Ricochet versus Gunther.
Gunther.
I think
Gunther.
that's gonna be another hell of a match.
Oh yeah. This Ricochet's gonna be flying around, and Gunther's gonna try and hit him with chops. It's
Yeah,
gonna be fun to
there's
watch.
and I don't know why it's escaping me, but I know this Friday there's supposed to be several big
Tag
matches.
team for women.
Yes, the women's tag team. I was looking forward to that.
Oh,
That
Liv
one
and
also.
Tegan.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Let's see. I think it was a Dakota and Io versus
Against my other girl, Dakota Kai.
And who's
Yeah, there's your other girl.
Yeah, there you go. Another one, if you mess around, we'll be doing this.
Right?
Two of my girls in the same match live
Oh my-
in Dakota.
Oh,
You're getting so excited for that.
I am.
he's gonna be like, yes.
I'll tell you one match that I did hear,
Mm-hmm.
a WrestleMania rumor that I really hope it's true, because I would love to see this. And the match that supposedly it's not quite set in stone yet, but it's close. Is that it's supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Gunther.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Me too.
And
Oh
I
my
would
I thought
God.
you were going to say Ace versus best round. The first one to punch the other one in the dick wins.
Oh my god.
because I'll tell you, I definitely want to see Brock versus Gunther.
Gunther. Brock
Yeah.
versus Gunther. That's
Yeah,
like a
I
dream match
do
for a
I did
lot
that
of
to you
people.
camping.
Right? Yeah,
Crazy.
it's the tribute. It's the tribute to camping. Right?
Right?
Absolutely. So
Oh, and speaking of tribute, I think tribute to the troops is this Saturday or next
Oh, it's Saturday. Yeah, this coming
Oh.
Saturday.
yeah,
This is,
yeah,
this is the 20th
it's
anniversary
Yeah.
celebration of that.
it's this coming Saturday, and
Okay.
I've kind of heard little things about the tributes to the troops also, and I want to see how you guys feel about this too. Somebody mentioned that they feel like a tribute to the troops should almost be like a special pay-per-view that they do every year.
Yeah.
I think they used to do it every year, didn't they?
Well, no. I'm
They
talking about
used
a
to-
pay-per-view. I'm
Oh,
not talking about you go do like 1 week, like one episode. No,
Yeah.
they're talking about like you actually make it a big time thing, like make it a big pay-per-view.
and have it exclusive. This is my thing. Exclusive to like the people serving.
Mhm.
Yeah,
No,
and
no
you,
fans like us can go. Only
Right.
Yeah,
Military
you
personnel,
make
you could
it-
like have it on like a big military base, something like that.
Yeah, and then say this
Several I know
pay-per-view
of.
is strictly for all
Military
of
personnel only.
our military and everything.
Mhm.
And you
Because
I
can,
it-
think
it
that
really-
that would be a cool idea, but do the military have time for all their troops to sit around for 3 hours and watch that?
it depends. I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
not really quite sure, but
I mean, they're over there doing a show for like 2 hours anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
and they've actually done it at bases before from the
They
footage
have,
I've
yeah.
seen. So
Hmm.
So
Didn't they have a pay-per-view on the naval ship one time?
I think they
Yeah.
might
they did.
Yeah.
on a naval start. I think it was on a
Yeah.
naval aircraft carrier.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that the concept is cool. I think it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Be
it's
fun.
run it by Triple H. I'm just kidding.
No.
I think that they should do that, and they just have like at least one big title change just for the troops.
Right?
That'd be something.
And then
I'll
have it
give Trips
returned
a-
back on TV.
Ooh.
You know,
I'll-
if
I'll
you
give
want
Trips
it
a
that
call.
way.
I'll give Trips a call.
There
I'll
you
call him up.
You
Triple
got
H,
him on
Ace
speed dial.
speaking.
I got him
I
on
have
speed
an
dial.
idea for you.
Yeah. I got him on speed dial. So
Yeah.
I'll call him up.
That's right. I got my girls on speed dial too.
Oh no.
Now I said
Don't
I
mess around doing this.
had Trips on
Cora,
speed
Mandy,
dial. I never said
Alexa,
Triple H. I said I
Dakota.
Yeah, I said I seriously just said I had Trips on speed dial. I never said Triple H. So let's
Everyone, I
Right.
think people call him Trips.
clarify
Oh.
that,
Hold on.
right?
I wish.
Who are you calling?
Trips.
Mandy?
I got a great idea. Who is this? Hey, Triple H, this is Ace. I have a great idea. Who the hell's Ace?
Click.
You know,
Between the ropes. You probably never watched our show. But
If you're not down with that,
But I have this great idea.
I don't care. I'm just kidding.
Goodbye. Click.
Well, I thought you said you wanted input from everybody.
Right?
How'd you get my number?
Don't worry
Who
about it.
gave it to you?
I got to Vince.
And the script that's in your bathroom at your house, don't worry about where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me.
But so to finish this up, we'll finish on one of the final rumors that are kind of going back and forth here.
Mm-hmm.
And that it pertains to WrestleMania, and it pertains to Roman and the two belts and everything. So I know, the last rumor that they've been having, because still The Rock and Roman is still not set in stone yet, because they haven't even been able to get The Rock to say that he can do it.
Right.
So this is kind of where they're stuck, because for the longest time they're like, hey, we could put him in the Rumble, he could win the Rumble, go on and face Roman, but they don't want to do that because they're like, what if he can't do Mania and he comes out and wins the Rumble? Then we're screwed.
Right.
So now, but they still want to do The Rock versus Roman, but now what they're talking about doing is saying, hey, we can have Roman face, and the name that keeps getting thrown out there is Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
And so they're saying we can have him face Cody Rhodes on night one, and then if The Rock can do it, have The Rock face Roman on night two.
Probably main event night 2.
Yeah, and have them headline like the big match for Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I so want to see Killer Cross win the title.
He'll probably get a chance.
I'm sure.
'Cause I
sure
think
he'll get
Cody's
a
only going to want one of the belts, and that's the WWE Championship, and Universal title will stay on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Unless
And
Rock
so-
doesn't get it. I think The Rock will win it and then drop it.
but the thing is,
vacate
though,
it.
this is what can happen, and this is why I'm saying, because this is why Triple H wanted to get rid of Money in the Bank and then have it again at Mania.
Yeah.
So I think if anything, if The Rock won the belt, then that same night, whoever won Money in the Bank, I think cashes in.
On The Rock.
Yeah, I
Or-
think cashes
As
in.
long as it's Karrion Cross, I'd be happy.
No, bro, it's gonna be Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Can
Hornswoggle.
you imagine that
Johnny
little dude
Knoxville.
dragging the title behind him? It's bigger than him.
Right?
I know,
It
right?
is way bigger than him.
Well, he did win the Cruiserweight title.
He did.
That is true.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
Chris, Hornswoggle was the very last Cruiserweight championship. Once he won it, that was the end of the belt.
Right?
No, it went over to NXT, and then they merged it.
They merged it, but it's kind of like the It's not really.
I
But
know, but technically he wasn't the last, if I remember
No.
right.
he was the last on the main roster because it was
Okay.
no longer on the main roster anymore. And then when they established NXT, they kind of, in a way, brought it back. But
Mhm.
on the main roster, he won it, and then after that, it was kind of scrapped, and it kind of went away.
Okay.
And I was like, "Well, you
Because
gave
they
it
had
to
the, because they had the cruiserweights on 205,
They did, and then that
Yeah.
ended up
and it was
going to
defended on Raw.
NXT. Yeah.
yeah."
So that's why I thought,
And they even asked Hornswoggle what he thought about it, and he's like, "What do you think when they put the belt on you?" And Hornswoggle's like, "I'm sitting there going, are you really sure you want to do this?" And they go, "Yeah." And he's
Right?
like, "Okay."
He's game
I
for
guess
it.
it's no worse than WCW putting the belt on Arquette.
Oh God. Oh.
Right?
I don't know about that
was
one.
ridiculous. That was so ridiculous.
I don't
Well,
know about
okay.
Riddle.
Well,
I don't know about
so-
Riddle.
I think Riddle's suspended. He failed a drug test.
he did come out. Russo did come out and say why he put the belt on Arquette. Like, he did this huge interview. He came out and said,
The
"Look,
movie, right?
It was a promote
No,
a movie called Ready to Rumble.
it wasn't only about the movie. It was also," he said, "hey, we wanted," because David Arquette did want to be a wrestler at that point, and the other person in the match was was Jeff Jarrett and
Oh, jeez.
and Diamond Dallas Page. And so Russo's like, well, obviously we can't have Arquette pin a Jeff Jarrett or Diamond Dallas Page because
Mhm.
it's not going to be believable. So the only other person in that match was Eric Bischoff. So he had Arquette spear Bischoff and then get the 3 count on Bischoff because he's like, that is more realistic because it's a celebrity that's pinning a guy who's not even a wrestler. So that's why he did it like that, because it's more realistic.
Well, yeah, I get that, but it's still one of the dumbest decisions ever made.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
It was really dumb.
It was a horrible decision, and that basically killed the heavyweight title.
Oh,
match.
it did. It did.
Killed WCW at that point because it was already. This was a nail in the coffin.
It flat out killed it.
Yep, you're right. That wasn't on the coffin.
It was like putting the belt on Jinder Mahal.
Put it on
That was
Jinder
horrible.
Mahal.
Yeah, put it on.
Worse
Jinder
than
Mahal.
putting the WWE World Title on Jinder Mahal. That
Yeah.
was
That
horrible.
was annoying.
Well, they
So
only did
bad.
that because they were going over to Saudi or to hit India or whatever he's from.
Yeah, it
India.
didn't turn out well. It did not.
No, it
pan
did
out
not.
well at all.
Mm.
No, because people were mad. They're all like, "Get it off him! Get it off him!" And they wouldn't take it
Oh,
off.
I'd love that. I'd love that Hitler. I'd love for Orton to come back and beat Roman, but I don't think Orton's gonna be back until
No,
SummerSlam.
not for
at
a
the
long
latest.
while. I think
He won't be
his
back
wife
anytime
posts a picture
soon.
of him in a hospital
No.
bed.
He won't be back anytime soon, if ever.
Yeah, if ever.
Yeah,
Like they're truly concerned about his health.
yeah. This could be it. I mean, if this could be it for him.
I don't know.
Oh.
It's the same thing about Edge, but he and Daniel Bryan, they came back.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Oh.
Edge came back years later.
Yeah,
I
about
know, it's a
9
long
years
time
after
later.
triple fusion neck surgery, and Daniel Bryan came back after about 3 years. Paige came back after
Yeah.
5 years.
Well, Daniel.
I think Orton will be back by
Bryan
SummerSlam.
Danielson was kind of active. He was like general manager of SmackDown.
He was, but he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Kinda
He wasn't.
active.
He was not an in-ring competitor. He was
Right.
active on
But
TV.
you were still seeing him on TV though.
So speaking of on screen, I know William Regal's not going to be on screen, but he just accepted he's now going to be vice president. They gave him a VP job in WWE.
Yep.
So yeah,
Well, he told his option on his AEW contract came up, and this is the story I heard. That he asked them not to pick it up, and Tony Khan agreed. So they filmed the segment with Regal and Tony.
Yeah,
Schiavone.
and
that ended up airing.
well, so
that was a nice way to kind of tie it up and kind of say thank you, Mr. Regal.
yeah,
for
because
talking on that.
originally, Khan wasn't gonna do it.
Mhm.
But Regal said, look, the only reason why I want to do it is because his son wrestles in NXT.
His name is Charlie Dempsey. Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen him.
and
He's
so-
good.
So
And he looks a lot
Charlie
like
Dempsey's
Regal.
his
It's
son?
frightening.
yeah, that's his son.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I saw. I
Yeah.
looked at that kid.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
Regal
that's
Jr.
gotta be
pretty much.
Regal's boy.
It
Looks
is.
He's
just
got some
like
skills that
him.
make him stand out.
That's his son, and so that's
I didn't know
why-
that, but I knew it by
Yeah.
looking at him.
and so that's why he went up to Tony Khan and said, "Hey, please don't pick up my option because I want to go back to WWE so I can coach my son." And
Yes.
and Tony Khan was like, "Okay, so your contract doesn't actually expire until 2024." So he's like, "I'm willing to release you from your contract. You can go back to WWE and coach your son, but you cannot make it. You cannot be an on-screen character in any way at WWE."
Right.
So
And he agreed to it.
yeah, until
That's so
2000,
stupid.
until 2024, he can be
Right.
an on-screen character in 2024. But until then, he cannot be.
Because
anything doing-
when he was with WWE and he went to AEW,
Vince let him.
Let him.
Yeah,
Vince let him because he
It-
released him, and
And
when
then Vince
Regal,
let him go on there with his name too.
yeah, because I
And
think
so-
Regal actually owns the rights to his name,
yeah,
his ring name.
Well,
But-
he called Vince and said, "Hey, can I use my name and go on there? Because you're the boss, and I don't want to offend you."
yeah.
And Vince's like, "Yeah, sure." He's like,
Yeah, sure, go
yeah,
ahead.
he's like, "I want to go coach Daniel Bryan," and he's like, Oh, I love Daniel. Go for it.
Yeah, right.
And
Do
then
it.
Kennedy has been AEW informs this really awesome faction with Brian Danielson and John Moxley called the Blackpool Combat Club have since added 2 additional members.
Well, we are at that point now, so we're at that mark. So, Messerat, any final words for you, sir?
You know what? It's been a month or so since we've been on. I'm just glad to be back talking wrestling with my friends. Hopefully we'll be back for more starting on Tuesdays, 9 o'clock Pacific, 11 Eastern.
10
What is it, 10 Central?
Mhm.
Yep.
So, yeah, looking forward to more episodes with you guys. Keep tuning in. William, everybody else that commented, Nathaniel, thanks for tuning in and commenting.
All right.
About you guys.
Christy, how about you?
I'm so glad to be back on the show talking wrestling with you guys. Whoa, I missed it so much.
All right. And then, Crispy, what do you think?
Yeah, thanks everyone.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
It's so,
Okay, Rock.
okay, so go ahead. That was for you, Dwayne.
There you go. No, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Great talking wrestling again, and hope you like the show and enjoy all of our other shows.
All right. Yep, definitely. Thank you everybody for watching. It's our new night now. We go live on Tuesday nights.
Yep.
So we're glad everybody who got to watch tonight. You can always go back and rewatch it. You can watch it on Amazon. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook. Fire Stick. I mean, anything. You can catch this anywhere. So go ahead and pick it up.
Cast me outside. How about that?
If you have any comments, there you go. Just reach out and let us know what your comments are. You ever want to make a guest appearance? Reach out, and we'll bring you on for guest appearances. All right,
Henry, you want to come on? Let us know.
So with that, thank you all, and have a good night.
Good night.